Good morning, YouTube. That was exceptional. This video is finally the month living with the Jimi Hendrix coiled purple cable, or as I like to call it, Grimace Guts. So I spent a month playing on this cable, as well as my X-Vive system and other cables I have, and comparing them. So what is the final result? Honestly, it's just another cable. But there are some little things. I did notice there is a difference, first off, in certain sounds and frequencies. The length, I think, is questionable on the 30 feet. And the weight. Those are the couple of things. So compared to like a normal cable, how does it stand up? It's good. It's pretty hefty. Now, it could just be because it is coiled up, the way that it's designed. It's a pretty heavy cable, I will admit. My room isn't that large, so when I got about 10 feet away from the amp and I turned, I had the cable, it's going in front of me this way. But when I played it the first time, I had it going like back behind me. The weight of it is heavy enough that it pulled this Strat, it pulled it to my side. And that's the one thing like I've been trying to get used to, is having to kind of keep my guitar where I want it to be with it there. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily a negative. I guess it depends on how you play. For me, it's just kind of annoying. Just because I like to stand straight and have my guitar in front of me and not be like off to the side. Frequencies. So, compared to like the X-Vive system, the X-Vive, there's some background noise when you have the volume rolled off. With this, there is background noise, but it's not as much. So that just could be coincidental based on the X-Vive system that I received. Who knows? I will say there are certain, and I don't know exactly the right way to word it, but there are certain sounds, like when you do something like when you do like bluesy rock stuff like that, there are just certain noises that you hear that you don't hear when you use like a normal cable or the X-Vive wireless system. That's really it, mostly. I mean, it's a heavy cable. I will say it's much more durable than my other cables, which I've found very, very surprising right away, was the durability. Also, it's very compact. For a cable like this, your normal leads, like your live wires, your monster cables, you gotta wrap them up. With this, it's like 55% pre-wrapped because it's coiled. And so all I usually do is take it and just wrap it up twice, and I just set it on the amplifier, or I hang it up. It's very compact. I will say, if anything, coiled cables, that's like their one major benefit. Another thing I like about it is the pancake. So if you didn't see the original video that I made, I basically went over the basics of the cable. It's 30 feet long. It's a Jimi Hendrix inspired cable. And it has this extra thick jack, and then it has the pancake style jack. I use the pancake style with my Fender amp. I like to put it in the Fender, put it into the input of the amp, my bad. And it just makes it look really nice and clean. I mean, like a normal cable, like a live wire, or even the wireless system, it kind of sticks up like a sore thumb, and you see it all the time. But with this, like, I look over, and you don't really see it. You see it, but it kind of evens out with the control panel, and it's really nice. Is it worth the money? Is it worth $50, $60? Personally, from just a player perspective, if you're not a fan of Jimi Hendrix and you're just looking for a cable, it's a kind of, you get what you're getting sort of thing. It's a really nice cable, it's really well built, but is it worth 50, 60, 45, however much it costs? I read a comment somebody left that said they didn't pay as much as I paid. I paid $50 for it, so, I don't think it's necessarily worth $50 to the average guitar player. But if you're a Jimi Hendrix fan, or even a fan of like Pete Townsend or Eric Clapton, those guys all use these type of cables. You can see some pretty famous pictures of Pete Townsend with his Gibson SG and the coiled cable going off back to his stack of Marshalls. So if you're a fan of those guys and you want to be as authentic as possible, this is the way to go. Because as far as I know, and from the research I've done, and from what the product description says, this is built with the highest quality material to replicate the cables that Hendrix used and the cables of that time. I also think, for the pricing, you're getting the name. You're getting Jimi Hendrix. Take, for example, this black Stratocaster. This is just your basic run-of-the-mill 50s reissue Fender Stratocaster in all black with a black pickguard. Now, if I were to switch out the neck with a left-handed 70s neck, flip the bridge, flip all the pickups around so that they're reverse of what they're supposed to be like, and I said, this is a Jimi Hendrix Stratocaster, it'd be $800 opposed to this being usually $500 or $600. So, you're paying for the name. I mean, that's kind of what that example was meant to start with. You're paying for the name. Hendrix is a very popular guitarist, so those slap his name on, they could slap his name on anything that's a piece of shit and make money off of it. They can make a Hendrix coffee mug, and it will make lots and lots of money. So, but to kind of wrap all this up, it's pretty heavy. My only complaint is it kind of pulls a little bit on your guitar depending on how you stand with it. I think it's a little overpriced. It works really nicely with like Fender amplifiers and other amps, kind of keeping everything on the control layout looking nice and even. The power just went out. Ha! That really was freaky. Hang on. I don't know if you just noticed. I'm totally uploading this copy I'm making. The power just went out. That was so freaky. Where was I? It's a little overpriced, I believe, but then again, you're paying for the Hendrix name, so if you're a Hendrix fan, there you go. It looks really nice and clean on Fender amplifiers like the Blues Junior, the Blues Deluxe, the Hot Rod Junior, and the Hot Rod Deluxe with the way the control panel's set up. I don't use my orange right now because it's broken, but I plugged it into it anyways just to see, how does it look? And it looks well on that too. So it kind of makes any amplifier look a little more cleaned up control panel wise. You don't have some cable like jutting off from the fucking control panel. So that's my month with it. I've been using it honestly more than my wireless system. That's partially because we just moved and I can't find my charger for the wireless system. But I did find it eventually, and I've been charging it and using it on and off. But when I'm kind of just in close proximity, it's easier just to pull this out, plug it, and go. And it's really nice. Like I gotta be honest, as a Hendrix fan, I really like it. It's purple. I love the color purple. It's one of my favorite colors. So I mean, I'm kind of a hard person to listen to about this stuff. But if I'm just gonna be 100% honest, I think it's a little overpriced. You know, I got lucky. I had a Guitar Center coupon, and or whatever. I don't even remember what it was. If it was like Guitar Center bucks or some bullshit. But I didn't really spend a whole lot of money on this, so it was well worth the investment, I think, for having it and doing a proper review. So, I guess I'll just play the rest of this video out. Thanks for checking it out. Come back and look for more. I just uploaded a D'Angelico video that you're gonna love. Thanks.